financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's show is going to be Don't Make These Mistakes, Part 1. Our next segment, we're going to do Don't Make These Mistakes, Guess, Part 2. Pat Simasko, good to have you back.
Thanks, Ken. I'm sitting in a little different spot here. So I noticed your picture on your website here. You're got a lot younger looking and a lot thinner now. So I think you might have to update your picture.
I'm
You're much
changing the
younger
website.
now.
I decided I
You're
do
much
not
younger.
like that. I do not like that picture. The suit, I didn't have it pulled in.
Yeah.
Jeff Kirshner, good to have you back.
Nice. Thank you for having me. Nice to see you, Pat.
Thank you.
I like this topic because, yes, I do make mistakes once in a while, so I could use this advice as well.
Brian also makes mistakes. In fact, he couldn't even find the location today, so he's not going to be with us. Actually, Brian's off today, but so we miss him. But we're talking about topics that are near and dear to him, so I'm sure when he's watching, he'll enjoy it. Let's get into the first one. Here's how it's going to go. I will tell you the mistake, and then you guys give you the reaction, and then we'll discuss why it's a mistake. Mistake number 1. I have $30,000 of credit card debt, but I pay a little more than the minimum payment every month, so I don't see a problem.
Well, the first mistake is how the heck to get into $30,000 in credit card debt?
Easy.
Really?
It's easy to happen if you don't have enough income coming in every month and you got bills to pay, and it doesn't happen, think about it. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't go out and go on the $30,000 world cruise when you're in your 40s. Maybe when you're in your 80s, but that's a whole different
That $30,000
story.
was probably $3,000 worth of goods or dinners or
And
that
then making the
iPad.
minimum payments, and then the furnace goes, a tuition payment goes, you've got to do a repair on the house. It just kind of accumulates, and the problem is you never get it paid off, so it just keeps growing and growing.
Not only that problem, but because you keep paying the minimum payment, you think you're good. And the credit card company every month says, way to be. You're paying the minimum.
That's
way
exactly
to be. And
my
in fact,
point.
in a couple months, we gave you this card and we gave you a $5,000 limit. But because you keep making your payment every month, you're a great customer. Now we're going to expand it to $10,000, and you look like, wow,
Bingo.
I'm doing something right, and now I've got more credit. I can spend more.
Bingo. And then you go further, and all of a sudden you're even at $30,000. That mentality is exactly what I'm saying, because you're now at $30,000 and you're still making the payments, and you're saying this: my minimum payment is $750 a month on $30,000, but I send them $800 a month. I have enough money to do it. It's not a big deal. Why are you telling me I got to get rid of the credit card debt? And here's why: because when you pay that $800 a month, when you're done paying your bills, you don't have any extra cash at the end of the month. So when you need to buy something, what do?
I'm going to use that credit card.
So the balance never, even though you think the balance is going down, it goes back up, and that's why the same $30,000 that you owe now, you probably owed $27,000 last year, and you'll probably owe $35,000 next year if the credit line allows you to do that, and it never goes away. Now do some multiplication. 30,000 times 20% is how much?
$6,000.
$6,000 a year in interest. That's $500 a month. Interest is poof.
Gone.
It's spending money, paying juice to a loan shark for which you get nothing. Other than in the case of a loan shark, you don't get your arms and legs broken. In the case of a bank, you don't get to be bankrupt for the rest of your life and die with no money in the bank. $750 a month, making those minimum payments, if you go on the assumption that the debt's never going to go away. Multiply that by 240 months, that's $180,000 without interest. You're in the credit card trap. You'll never get out of the debt unless you do something to get rid of it. And the bottom line is you need to get rid of it. How? Chapter 7, Chapter 13, debt resolution, the issues and the ways that Brian talks about when we go through them on the show.
Can I ask a question then?
Yeah.
So my daughter, she's just getting out in the real world, and she just got her first credit card. What would you recommend for a young person when they're starting to look at credit cards, and how much should they get? And
Rule number 1, you can use the card, but you must pay it off at the end of the month. If you run into an emergency and you have to use it and you can't pay it off at the end of the month, you can't use it until it's paid off, and it should be paid off within 3.
That's a good...
You can't allow yourself to end up with the balances on a credit card.
And what's the limit?
Perfectly fine to have one.
What's the limit? Well, they need one now to get in a hotel or rent a car, but so what's the limit would you recommend for a young person?
Limit doesn't matter because there's 2 things to it. If you have a higher limit and your balance is 0, you're going to have more available credit, and it will help your credit score so that when that young person wants to buy the house, they've got the credit score. But if they're not capable of not using the card and not getting into debt, then I wouldn't want to limit over $5,000.
I mean, it's nice that they offer these incentives to use their credit card. Mileage with Delta or any other airline, or you've got Capital One with cash back. So they do entice you to use their card all the time.
Those are good things. If you can be smart enough.
Good parenting is to watch them too.
If you can step in and never, if you go with this theory, I'm not going to pay them interest, but I'm going to use the card and I'm going to take my points and I'm going to take my cash back, and with the points I'm going to buy stuff, then they're paying you interest. Those people win. It's just those few winners are supplementing all the losers that the banks love. The bank doesn't love you when you pay off your card every month, but you're allowed to do that, and that's the smart way.
Got it.
All right, the next one that we'll hit after we go to after the break is where we'll start it. I'm behind in my credit card debt, so I'm going to borrow from my 401k to pay off the debt.
Well,
I just said get rid of the credit card debt, so why not use the 401k to pay it off?
Well, I have a lot of alarm bells that are going off because I know that using your 401k, first of all, that's for your future, and you're hedging your future now to take it out. But more importantly, there's penalties to take out your 401k early, so you're going to take a significant hit, more than the money you're taking out, and the tax consequences of taking it early.
We're coming up to a break, so when we get back, we're going to stay on this topic and finish it up. We'll be back.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP.
All right, so back to using your 401k or your IRA. And like, you know, your 401k, people think, well, I can borrow the money from my 401k so I don't have to pay the penalty. But here's the point. The 401k and the IRA, number one, your credit card companies can never get to that money. Even if you file bankruptcy, they're protected.
Okay.
If you file bankruptcy, you get to keep that money. Now, why would the federal government allow you to do that?
For retirement planning.
They recognize the need that we as citizens need to have retirement, otherwise we're going to be a burden on the economic system. They want you to have that retirement. You need that retirement, to do a little Jack Nicholson there. The whole point there is you don't want to tap that money. That money, consider it sacred. Do not use it to pay off credit card debt. Don't use it for anything. That's the rule. That's what you need to know. Now, I'm behind on my credit card debt, so I'll refinance my home to pay down my credit card debt.
Well, there's two problems with that. When I've seen it many, many, many times, they refinance the house to pay down the debt, which it sounds great because the interest rate's a lot lower, blah, blah, blah. But then they go ahead and jack up the credit card debt all over again. Now they have a fully financed house and back to credit card debt.
If you notice, there's a lot of new commercials lately because equity values on the homes have finally come back up, and now there's equity again to the home over and above the first mortgage. So you hear the lenders saying, now's a great time to refinance your home and pull cash out. 3-point retirement plan that we talk about. Own your own home free and clear, zero debt, cash in the bank. That's your goal at retirement. If you buy into the 3-point retirement plan, along with that goes a rule. Never refinance your house.
You know,
last resort, because if you refinance your house, how's it going to be paid off at zero when you get to retirement?
And we've gotten at least 2 or 3 people come in a year where their financial planner says, refinance the house, pull out all of your equity and give it to me to invest for you. So the mortgage is 4%, but I can make you 11%. And of course, the market crashes, they lose the
20%.
money, they have to pay off the mortgage, and it's a nightmare.
Also,
so don't ever
so then they have.
do
So then
that.
they get out. So then they're at retirement. They don't have the house paid for, and they don't have the cash in the bank and savings because it hasn't materialized.
And how do they fund it? They get more credit card debt to pay
Right,
for it.
and usually they've got 15-year, 30-year mortgage. They've put in 15 years.
Yeah.
15 years from paying off the home. Now they go ahead and they refinance. Now they're back to 30 years again.
Yeah, you want to, and I hear it all the time too. Well, you should have a mortgage because of the tax deduction. No way, no way. It's better to pay it off, have liquidity.
Fine,
cash
have
flow.
that tax deduction when you're in your 30s and
Right,
40s while you're
right,
paying
right,
off the home. When you get to retirement age, it depends. If you've got $5 million in the bank, you know what? You don't need to be watching this show. Go to one of your sophisticated financial advisors,
Like
figure out what you want to do.
Samasco
like
Financial.
Like Samasco and everything else. And even then, you're going to adopt a plan if you're my age.
Right.
How much can you afford to lose? And I'm going to say nothing
None.
because I'm there. I don't want to take the risk.
Right.
So, but the big, here's another one. I'm going to use a reverse mortgage and pay off my credit card debt. Worst possible advice.
Same thing.
Reverse mortgages, number one, are dangerous. Number two, you only get significant cash out of the home if you take the reverse mortgage out when you're really up there in your years. You need to be 80 in order to get a good advantage on the amount of equity you can pull out of the home on a reverse mortgage. When should you use a reverse mortgage? If you get yourself into this position. The house is owned free and clear. You've got Social Security, but you've exhausted your savings, and now you're 80 years old, 85, and you don't quite have enough cash to live on month to month.
Right.
You can then reverse mortgage the house that's owned free and clear, supplement your income so that you're assured of having enough money to live.
Like if you need to pay for in-home care, people coming in to take care of you. That's
Right, because if
one
you're
thing.
only living on Social Security,
absolutely.
you're at best living on $2,500 a month. That's the only income you've got coming in.
And the problem with that, why are they living on Social Security? A lot of them, they lost the money back when they're 50s and 60s. They weren't planning on living till they're 85 or 90s. So that's the mistake, is you have to start early in your planning.
Absolutely. And then if you haven't started early, it's not too late. That's the other. A lot of people get the wrong message. Well, I blew it. I'm 55, it's too late. It's not too late. If you're 55 and you're going to live to 90, you still have a good 35 years to correct the problem, and you also have to figure out how you're going to fend for yourself. Let me give you another one. We'll start on it. We'll take it after the break. My wife needs to go into the nursing home. This is near and dear to Pat's area of specialty. So I'm going to sell our house so I have the cash to pay the $10,000 a month. All I don't have any cash in the bank. I've got maybe a small IRA. My house is owned free and clear. I'm going to sell it so I've got the cash to pay the nursing home. I'm saying that's a mistake. Do you agree?
Well, I mean, thank God for married couples, I can protect every dime of their assets. So if they have a house or if they have the cash from the house, I can protect it all. But what happens is, dad died and mom's in the house, and the family say, well, she's going to move to an assisted living. Let's sell the house. We'll have $150,000, put it in the bank, and we can pay for her assisted living. And then all of a sudden, a month later, she has a stroke, and now she's in the nursing home. Cash isn't a protected asset. The house is. So what we have to do at that point, that would be a mistake. We would go buy her another house. We would have to do other type of planning.
So the whole thing people don't realize is the layperson automatically says, I'll sell the house so I have the cash to pay the nursing home. Really the goal is
Medicaid.
Hang on to the house, hang on to the cash, and figure out how to structure things so that Medicaid pays for the nursing home.
So that's what you have to watch out for, is if for a married couple, they focus on dad going into to needing all this money for his care, but they don't realize that mom's going to live 20 years later after dad passes away. So you really have to focus on planning for the at-home spouse. Yeah,
it's a big problem. Yeah. All right, let me throw out the next one, then we'll take a break and we'll figure out why it's right or why it's wrong. I filed for disability and I was denied. So I'll just go there alone and explain the situation. Otherwise, I'll just fold up and give up, because if I was denied, I guess I'm not entitled to it.
That sounds like a Jeff question.
It does. And sorry, I don't think that groveling works well with the Social Security Administration.
No, they don't care.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem. Time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us Tuesdays noon to 1 and 6 to 7 p.m. on Law and Reality Live. That's WCHB 1200 AM 99.9 FM. Thursdays from 3 to 4 p.m. with Cliff Russell on Law and Reality Now 9:10 a.m. We've got a couple seminars coming up. On Wednesday, March 15th from 6 to 7:30 p.m., estate plans are needed for the living. If you're alive, you better attend. We're going to go through the basics of estate planning. You need to cover life issues, not just death issues. Durable power of attorney, healthcare power of attorney. We're going to make sure your assets go where you want them to go and to avoid probate. All of our seminars are free. Sign up at lawandreality.com or thavgross.com or call 888-235-HELP. There'll also be a special offer on an estate plan for those attending, a super great offer, but you need to be there in order to take advantage of it. On Wednesday, April 12th, we have our next debt elimination seminar from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. It is called Debt Elimination is the Grand Slam of Finance. It's going to focus on all the methods we use to preserve future income for you and your family. It's not just so much about debt elimination as it is that's a stepping stone. You get rid of the debt, so instead of paying the credit card companies every month, you start putting that money away for savings for retirement so that when you get to 65, 70, you're not living only on Social Security and buried in debt. Instead, your house is paid for, you have zero debt, and you've got cash in the bank to retire with. Sign up at lawandreality.com, thavgross.com. Attendees of that seminar get a free copy of my book, Dump Your Debt. Again, that seminar is free, as all of them are. Don't forget to take advantage and sign up. I want to remind everyone that we offer free consultations at Thav Gross, whether it's debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, or disability issues with Jeff. Just go to our websites, lawandreality.com, thavgross.com, and request a free consult, or you can always call 888-235-HELP. Also, take a look at the websites. We've got free reports, business formations, loans and grants for small businesses in Detroit, Pat's Retiree's Guide to Social Security, and we also have How to Save Your Home with Regulation X, the Hidden Secrets. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
All right, so I filed for disability, I got denied. What do I do, Jeff? Just give up?
Well, most people do give up, or most people make the common mistake of getting a love letter from Social Security. Within about 2 months of filing, they say you're denied for whatever reason. And it's amazing how many people come to my office most times and say, I applied, I got denied, so I went and applied again and got denied. I applied again and got denied.
Strike three, you're out.
Yeah, most people think you have to apply at the initial stage several times before then you engage an attorney. That's a huge mistake.
Why is it a mistake?
Well, for several reasons. First of all, if it's a Social Security disability claim, your benefits, you can cap your benefits up to 1 year prior to the date that you file. So when you file, you get denied. Instead of giving up and just refiling it, you need to request a hearing. You file a disability appeal. If you don't do that, after 60 days, that decision dies on the vine, and then when you file, you have to start all over again. Well, now you've lost time going back.
So if you end up going through that process 3 times, you're going to blow a year of benefits at least.
That's correct, for Social Security disability. And for SSI, the problem with supplemental security income is the law in SSI is you're not entitled to benefits until the day you file for benefits going forward. So there's not even any retroactive back pay. So if you, again, file, don't appeal once you get that love letter, then you refile again, we've lost all that time from before, and you start afresh.
Here's something I don't think people realize. Most people get denied. Most people, here's what a layperson thinks. I have a legitimate disability, otherwise I wouldn't be filing for disability. I'm not scamming the system. I have a disability, I can't work, and I need some income, and I have a right to it. I go and I file, and I get denied. The first reaction I think that people have is to saying, maybe I'm not entitled to it, so I just fold up and go home. But you tell me, almost everyone gets denied. It's kind of like a government scam.
Yeah, I to a certain extent, unless you have a life-threatening illness, unless you have some sort of permanent paralysis.
My dad had a horrible stroke, and he just got it automatically.
Right.
But he was. I think there's a list of certain ones that are almost automatic.
There's certain listings, but even with these listings, even with these residual functional capacity grids that they have in place, at the initial stage, they do a horrible job of analyzing the case. They do a poor job of obtaining your records. They do a horrible job of analyzing the records. So most people, even though I know that you believe that you're disabled, and even you're getting advice from one or more of your doctors, go ahead and apply, they're going to deny you right away, and you have to be proactive. You can't accept no. You have to come see me, file a request for a hearing, a disability appeal. Even more so is come see me when you think about applying, because we can get it right the first time. So even if they deny you, we can line it up.
That's the one that is right off the bat really important, is you don't even get help before you apply, so the application goes in clean as possible.
We've always been told, and I'm learning something here, is that you say, you apply on your own, and then when you get denied, you go talk to the lawyer. But that's wrong information that we're passing out to the clients.
Once in a while, it's appropriate for the clients themselves to go and do the application process.
Yeah.
But most times, it's not. Most times, they should have the attorney do it.
It doesn't cost anything to come in and talk to you about it, does it?
I don't charge any money for my services up front. I do the application process. If I'm unsuccessful, people don't owe me a fee. So there is no loss in coming to see me and helping you file your claim.
Let me throw out two more mistakes people make in short orders. One is, I'm not going to do anything because I don't want to hurt my credit score. That's the one I hear most often from my elderly clients who don't even need to worry about their credit score because they're not buying anything.
It's worse than that. We have dad dies and he has a $10,000 credit card. Mom's not on it. And I said,
she wants to pay it.
You don't, or his medical bills. You don't owe them. Oh, but he always paid his bills, so I got to pay that.
Yeah.
I go, no, don't. You don't.
I sometimes have to fight with them, and I have to grab the credit card bill or the medical bill and say, no, you're not paying it.
Right.
And it's, but I owe the money. No, you don't owe the money, and you need the money for you to live on.
Right.
And unless you're going to buy something soon, a house, a car, anything, your credit score means nothing anyway, and it can recover down the road.
All right, one last one. I need to get out of debt, but I'm going to hold off for now. This is the one that my father, my dear beloved father who passed away last year, used to say to me. I wanted to get rid of his credit card debt. We're going to hold off on that for another week. We used to have this discussion at Big Boy.
He's getting ready to get
Holding off means giving your money away. Don't hold off. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality. Thanks for watching.